Everyone always just wants to talk about the money. So let's talk about how much money you can make in cybersecurity. My name is Nathan Riley. Welcome to my channel, and go ahead and subscribe if you're new here. Alright, so almost everyone asks how much anyone makes in just about any job role, including cybersecurity, and people ask me all the time, whether it be on other forums that I use and other sites that I go online to help people or talk to people, so on and so forth, and everyone's just like, how much money can you make though? But how much money can you make? Can you make a lot of money? Yes, you can make a lot of money doing cybersecurity. But you can also not make a lot of money in cybersecurity. And let's start with that. You can make about $25,000 a year working a cybersecurity job. But you can also make, the highest I've met is $500,000 a year, somewhere in that realm, for certain people who are just make a lot of money at companies. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about what's normal. Most people aren't going to get the $500,000 salaries. And most people aren't going to get the $25,000 salaries. What's more common is that most entry-level jobs, like support desk jobs for a company that develops cybersecurity tools, or say a quality assurance job, they can pay anywhere from $30,000 a year to about $70,000 a year. I know that's a really broad gap. That's a really broad gap. But broad gap aside, it's a range, and that's what I've noticed. And I also help a lot of people get jobs, and this is what I have seen, is that people will get started making anywhere around 30 to 70. Usually they make at least 40, 45. And oftentimes, if you're starting off at 30, 40, 45, I see a lot of salaries jump up another $10,000 to $20,000 after their first year there. And then they go back down to, say, 4% annual raises, unless they know how to negotiate raises, which most people don't know how to negotiate raises, which this is not a video about negotiating raises. Maybe I'll talk about that another day if anyone asks, hey, how do you negotiate a $40,000 raise? I've negotiated a $40,000 raise before, and I've taught at least 4 other people how to negotiate $40,000 raises before. It happens, and it's a thing. Get told that you can't get a big raise unless you leave a company. But anyways, before I go on a big tangent, let me get back to the point of how much can you make in cybersecurity. So if you have at least 2 years of experience in cybersecurity, I usually see people making at least $70,000 a year, which I say at least, which in the cybersecurity space it's not a ton, but you're not poor. You're not making $40,000 a year, and $40,000 a year isn't poor either. You're not going to be poor working in cybersecurity, plus poor is a mindset. So if you make $70,000 a year and you have a poor mindset, maybe you are poor. That's another tangent. I will not go on another tangent. So let's get back to the point. If you have about 5 years of experience in cybersecurity, it's pretty common that people start bleeding over into the 6-figure range. $120,000 a year salary is a pretty common plateau where people's salaries start to go up a lot slower. And then I still see people hitting about $150,000 a year. And I do like online research around that as well, on top of having helped people negotiate some of these bigger raises. But once again, I'm not talking about negotiations to get some of these bigger raises. I have also met people who make about $180,000 on the higher ranges. These people oftentimes have at least a decade of experience at those salary ranges. But it's not to say that you can't make that kind of money even at 5 years. It really just comes down to a couple of things with your experience and your negotiation skills, because salary oftentimes is what you negotiate. And that's something to think about. For those of you who are interested in hearing about how to negotiate different salaries and why certain negotiations work and why certain negotiations don't work, maybe I'll make a brief video on that sort of thing. So go ahead and comment below. Once again, subscribe and like this video if you like this type of content. And I would like to try to figure out what people would like to see on this channel. I do know that people are always asking about money questions. So Now you know. And I did make a cybersecurity jobs qualification guide that you can download. Just go ahead and follow the description below, and you can go ahead and figure out what types of cybersecurity jobs you might actually be qualified for. And email me if you want. I have my information in there as well. So I'm here to help. And if you don't want my help, I actually don't want to help you. So go away. Just go away if you don't want my help. Thanks. And goodbye. Subscribe.